Welcome, and if you've seen the previous 2 episodes on this park, welcome back to my version of a steampunk fantasy park. Today we'll be making a little steampunk coffee shop for our guests to get their caffeine fix. And yes, I'm finally making something that at a glance you might classify as steampunk. So I've decided to make this a metal building, and luckily the aquatic pieces in Planet Coaster 2 work really well for this. Most of these pieces have rivet details, so they are perfect for this. For this small building, I decided to make it kind of in the style of a wood Victorian building. So I've designed it with paneling in mind, that is beams surrounding a panel that in this case are made of metal. I'm creating the door and using a coaster support piece for the handle. Eventually I change the door so it is open. I like to do that with my build so that guests don't walk through the doors. In the interior, I've continued with the panel idea for the walls, although in this case there are only 2 panels. The separation between the two kind of falls where you would have a chair rail, and I guess chair rails originated to keep chairs from banging into walls. Anyway, enough of that. Here I am adding a rear hallway to make it seem as if it leads to some back rooms. In the future this could actually lead somewhere for guests, but we'll have to see. So this is the counter I'm creating. I tend to fall back on the basic shapes a lot of times because they have, in my mind, low polys and now can be resized, so it often requires fewer pieces. In the back of my mind, I'm thinking about performance, so I'm often choosing to use fewer pieces, or at least think about using fewer pieces. Sometimes I'm not successful, or using a piece that has fewer polys on it. So I decided that the shop needed some shelves, so I added the ones you can see there, and then proceeded onto the tanks and pipes that you need in a steampunk coffee shop. Finally, I'm working on the exterior again. Here you can see the sign I created with some generally useless pipes for some nonsensical detail. I failed to record this, unfortunately, and it was a lot of trial and error, so probably not worth seeing. Here I am adding some mugs and other things on the shelves because, of course, a theme park coffee shop needs to have a bunch of stuff to sell. And here is the sign with all the goodies you can buy, including sumplets, something I made up. I'm not sure what they are, but it sounded like something you might get in a steampunk park. Finally, I am creating some chairs and tables for the front of the shop, and I'm adding some lights. I also used electric lighting. I'm not sure if the steampunk theme that we're going for should mostly be electric or be gas style lamps. It's something I'll have to think about. Leave a comment below if you have an opinion on that. I'd be interested to hear what other people think a steampunk style should include. And that's the completed build. Let's take a look at the completed coffee shop.